What is GMO?
GMO means genetically modified organisms. First of all, you ask yourself, who are the owners of the
GMO seeds?
The seeds.
Right.
At least as at today in Nigeria, no Nigerian owns any seed.
Wow.
The seeds are patented. They are owned by Monsanto. Monsanto, they've had a past history of a lot of criminal issues. And in the US alone, they have over 100,000 litigations. They come into a society,
right.
They buy up your natural seeds,
right.
and they begin to, replace them with genetically modified seeds. Why will NAFDAC approve every other type of food?
Okay.
But this particular one, that is food that everybody is eating, NAFDAC will not approve it.
Don't have the decision to approve it.
Maybe we reason them now. Like the corn is modified to produce its own insecticide. You put GMO maize here, put normal maize here. The cow will come and eat the normal maize.
The cow?
And leave the GMO maize for you.
So the cow will come and eat the normal
cow, yes. What they are bent on doing is hand over everything that has to do with our food, because as we speak right now in Nigeria, we have GMO cassava, we have GMO rice, we have GMO beans, we have maize, we have potato, because the person that controls your seed controls your food. Correct. He that controls your food controls your life.
Correct.
That's the question every right-thinking Nigeria should start asking. Why are countries banning this?
Welcome again to the King Edosa show. Today, we have with us Dr. Jackie, the CEO of BFA Integrative Health and Wellness. Stay with us even as we dive into this very interesting discussion on GMO. Thank you. What is GMO?
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's my pleasure. Okay, GMO means genetically modified organisms. Now, when you talk about genetically modified organisms, we also have like the general one now, we're talking about genetically modified foods. Okay, they're all products of biotechnology.
Okay.
And before I go into that definition, I want to set some things straight. Okay? Because when you talk about biotechnology and GMOs, the biotech people, the industry, you know, the owners of the GMOs, they make it look as if we are against biotechnology, that we're anti-science, we're again, we don't want anti-technology, you don't want the country to develop with other nations, but that's a very misleading point. We are not against biotechnology. A lot of things we do is a product of biotechnology. Kunu is a product of biotechnology, okay? But those are not GMOs. Now, the ones we have a problem with, even biotechnology, there are extension of biotechnology medicine. That is, I run a clinic and it has helped so many people stay alive. The problem we have is the genetic modification of our food. It's important that we state that and state that clearly. And now, the genetic modification of our food that we have a problem with is the transgenic modification of our food. Now, the question is this: what is that?
Yes, what is the transgenic modification of our food?
Transgenic modification of our food is where you take genes from a species or organisms and transfer to another organism that are not taxonomically the same. They are taxonomically different. For instance, you take gene from an animal and put in a plant to produce certain traits or characters you saw in that animal. You want it in the plant. You understand? Yes. So that's transgenic. Now, these modifications can never occur in nature. And when they do that, whether we like it or not, there are so many things, so many implications we need to consider. The ethical implication, health implication, environmental implication, economic implication of doing all this. So no matter how much technologically savvy we want to be, we need to be careful when it comes to what we eat. Because you see, food is something that concerns everybody. Food is not a Jackie thing or a you thing. Every human being eats. And we are what we eat. And like the father of medicine, Hippocrates, had said years behind, that let your food be your medicine. Then some other people now said, if you don't let your food become your medicine will become your food. So that's why the genetic modification of our food has become so controversial. Because you see, whether the owners of the seeds like it or not, The questions we want Nigerians to start asking is this: why is this so controversial?
Okay.
You and I, we use phones. These are products of technology.
Correct.
How many countries banned the use of phones?
Okay.
In their countries?
No countries.
Because this is a technology, yes, even though they are telling us, oh, radiation from the phone could cause this, could cause that, but it's not as controversial as this one that is about food.
Food that we consume every day.
So that's what that's the question every right-thinking Nigeria should start asking. Why are countries banning this? Because you see, the reality is this: when you take gene from an animal and put in a plant, you have changed the whole dynamics of that plant. It can never remain the same. So GMOs are foods produced by the transfer of genes from one species to another.
Okay, great. The next question I'd like to ask is, are GMOs a threat to food sovereignty?
Of course, they're a big threat to food sovereignty because, you know, the way the, first of all, you ask yourself, who are the owners of the
GMO seeds?
The seeds.
Right.
At least as at today in Nigeria, no Nigerian owns any seed.
Wow.
The seeds are patented. They are owned by Monsanto, which is now like, I mean, they've merged.
Pharmaceutical company?
Yes. They merged with Bayer.
Okay.
So when you hear Monsanto, when you hear Bayer now, it's still the same Monsanto.
Okay.
Monsanto, they've had a past history of a lot of criminal issues.
I'm aware.
And in the US alone.
Health criminal issues, right?
Yes. And in the US alone, they have over 100,000 litigations. And when you talk about it, they tell you, no, it is not about their GMO foods. But the litigations they have has to do with glyphosate, Roundup. Glyphosate is an active ingredient in the pesticide that they produce, which is used because you see some of they say Roundup ready seeds. Okay. So that means that you don't use you use less quantity of herbicide on those seeds.
Right.
So these seeds are owned by Monsanto, they are owned by Syngenta, and a few other companies. Okay. So basically what you're doing is that you have taken our food sovereignty, because there was a seminar, some years back, and it's out there in the public domain. Okay. And the consultant from Arthur Andersen said they were given an assignment to help Monsanto put together a vision that they have. Okay. And what was that vision? Monsanto said they have a vision where 100% of the seeds in the world will be 100% genetically modified. No, genetically modified. Whoa. So what they want to do is they come into a society, they buy up your natural seeds, and they begin to, replace them with genetically modified seeds. Food. So that's their vision. Now, this is Monsanto. Okay. Monsanto is not a Nigerian. Yes, and I don't think any Nigerian, I know there's Monsanto Nigeria, but I don't think any Nigerian owns any
share of the company. Even
if they own shares, but who owns the seed?
Right.
So these people their interest is modify, remove all the natural seeds, start selling GMO seeds to farmers. Now you can see the GMO tomato seed that is being bandied around, looking blue, like this color, this turquoise color. Okay. Who wants to eat that?
Terrible.
You understand? So it's a very big threat to our food sovereignty, because when you take your whole food production and put in the hands of a foreigner, what else is left? Because the person that controls your seed controls your food. Correct. He that controls your food controls your life.
Correct.
So we cannot afford that, you see, because when it comes to farming, we have the organic, that's or natural seeds.
Yes.
We have the hybrid. Okay. We have the GMOs.
Right.
Now, and part of what we are telling these people, the regulatory agencies, if you want to keep messing around with GMOs, that's fine. Okay. But you see, we also need to be fair in saying, okay, while we have, because that GMO is somebody's business.
Right.
While we are allowing them to do their business in certain areas, also ensure that you protect our natural seed. But you see, these guys are not doing that. And when I say these guys, I'm talking about National Biosafety Management Agency. They are being so unfair and brutal in what they're doing. Okay? There is no assurance being given to people who do not want to touch GMOs that, okay, you can...
If you don't want to do GMOs, you can go ahead.
Yes. As far as they're concerned,
everybody must do
everybody GMO. Must eat GMO. You don't need to convince us.
So at the detriment.
So it's a very big threat to our food sovereignty, because what they are bent on doing is hand over everything that has to do with our food. Because as we speak right now in Nigeria, we have GMO cassava, we have GMO rice, we have GMO beans, we have maize, we have potato. In fact, these are the ones so that we have, I can assure you that even sorghum They're already messing around with some of those other grains. So our problem is not that they are doing their genetic modification. If they had even started with things like apples, peaches, you know, those ones that waiting concern poor man with apple and peaches.
Yes.
But you know, they started with the staples. The staples. The one that everybody, you give birth to a new child today, when you start weaning them, you start with them on maize and all that, you know, corn, pap, and so on. That's what they started with. You know how we eat rice in this country. You know how we eat beans in this country. You know, so that's the challenge. So it's a very, very big threat to our food sovereignty.
It's in the news, the media houses. The DG, right, of NAFDAC came on and said GMO was not accepted in Nigeria, or they don't have a scientific proof yet. In another short while, we saw her coming up to say it is now being accepted, that it's safe. What do you have to say about that?
There's a whole lot of policies going on, and it's very sad because for somebody, she's a professor.
Right.
I don't know her field, but I mean, for her to be heading NAFDAC
such organization
means that she knows her onions.
Right.
And when she came up and said that thing, we believed her.
Okay.
Which is like asserting, confirming what we have always said.
Known, right.
She said that they haven't done enough studies, and that's the truth. I'm going to show you some documents later from NABMA site, National Biosafety Management Agency, to show you what we see, because when they talk about approvals, we have approved. You will think they actually took the seeds themselves to the lab. They're all called trade secrets. These guys, the owner of the seeds, there are certain things they will not reveal about their seeds. I'm going to show you a form they give to these people. And you ask us, okay, so, because, oh God, the way those forms are filled, you are expecting that the owner of the seed is the one who is going to tell you, the regulator, is your food poisonous? Is it toxic? What have you done about it to prove that it is not? No, I have the form. I didn't manufacture this form.
Right.
It is on the website, so you can. I will show you the website. Do you understand?
Right.
Because I went to their website, they removed a lot of things, but we downloaded this form and I kept it. Because you see, sometimes these people think that Nigerians are stupid. You know, there's a popular saying previously that if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book.
Correct.
And I keep telling people, we left you behind 10 years ago, 100 years ago. Nigerians are reading. They are studying. You now, you may not be a scientist, but you're asking questions.
Correct.
And so people are asking questions and going to do research. You know, there was a time for the past 3-4 years, I was quiet, you know, because we started this campaign during Jonathan's regime.
Over 10 years ago.
Yes. And I tell people, it's not President Tinubu that brought GMOs into the country. Let's not get these things twisted. Because I know people have called me to ask, say President Tinubu wants to kill us. I say, you're on your own. Don't get this thing twisted. It wasn't President Tinubu that brought in GMOs. GMOs came into Nigeria formally during President Jonathan. He was the one that signed the biosafety law. He was the one that signed it in 2015. Then, of course, that gave them the platform. Then, during the 8 years of President Buhari, they had a field. They're doing a lot of things that they want to do.
Penetrating different areas.
So it's not President Tinubu. So this woman came on air and told us that GMOs, they are not safe.
Right.
We say, praise God. Maybe that they will go back to the drawing board and do the needful. And of course, I know she was put under a lot of pressure, you know, and she came out to say they are safe. On what basis are you telling us that they are safe? Did you do any research? Because even, let me show you something.
Okay.
Let me read out a little research that was done at the Rowe Institute of Nutrition.
Okay.
This is just a sentence. He said, one GM potato line, for example, contained 20% less protein than its own parent line. Because they tell you that they are both the same, the GMO and the natural potato.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
There's what we call principle of substantial equivalence.
What does that mean?
They tell you that there's no difference between the GMO plants and their natural, like this is GMO potato, this is natural potato.
Yes.
They tell you that they all contain the same nutrients.
Okay.
But this guy, Apad, he did a research.
Okay.
Rowe Institute of Nutrition.
Okay.
In I think is Aberdeen.
Okay.
Okay, that's where they are. One GM potato line, for example, contained 20% less protein than its own parent line. Second, even the nutritional content of sibling GM potatoes, offsprings of the same parent grown in identical conditions, was significantly different. So there is enough, these are peer-reviewed studies that has been done, which they have not done anyone here in Nigeria, because if they say they have done, put it out there in the public domain. These are not things that that should be hidden. Now, this same guy fed rats with GM foods. Okay? Now, what are his findings? He found out that rats which were fed GM potatoes suffered damaged immune systems. Their white blood cells responded much more sluggishly than those fed a non-GM diet, leaving them more vulnerable to infection and disease. Organs related to the immune system, the thymus and spleen, showed some damage as well. Now, compared to rats fed a non-GM control diet, some of the GM-fed rats had smaller, less developed brains, livers, and testicles. Other rats had enlarged tissues, including the pancreas and intestines. Some showed partial atrophy of the liver. Now, what is more significant is that structural changes and structural changes and a proliferation of cells in the stomach and intestines of GM-fed rats, which may have predisposed them to, for cancer and all that. Now, these rats developed these serious health effects after only 10 days.
10 days?
Yes. Some of these changes persisted after 110 days. A time period corresponding to about 10 years of human life. So what we're saying is this. The trials or the tests they have done for their own whatever, they're usually very short. Inadequate. Because there is no long-term clinical trial to know, okay, people or rats, let's even not use people. Rats fed GMOs. That's from their own side now. Because while they refuse to do those trials, other scientists are running those trials. And they are showing their results. Our own people, if they have said they have done tests. So that's the question the NAFDAC woman needs to answer. On what basis? How did you arrive at this decision or this conclusion that what the things you said that they were not safe, how many months down the line, suddenly they are safe? How? So it's an embarrassment, and it's something that in civilized societies, she shouldn't be in that place. GMOs cannot pass through NAFDAC's description of food, and they know it. So that's why Ministry of Environment is the one regulating GMOs, because National Biosafety Management Agency is under the Ministry of Environment. So they are the ones regulating GMOs, because there's no way NAFDAC on the face of this earth, as presently constituted, will take GMOs and say these are foods. Then they have a lot to prove, because they had the same problem. If you study the things that happened between FDA and the Environmental Protection Agency in the US, that was exactly the same problem. Because the EPA, we have these documents, so I'm not telling you what, they are out there. The Environmental Protection Agencies clearly said, their scientists said, by the way these foods are constituted, they are pesticides. It's there in their domain. You understand? I don't work for US Environmental Protection Agency, but those documents are out there in the public domain, because even their own scientists did not approve it. But they had to change certain, equations, dynamics, and all that. That's how FDA was able to remove it from being a pesticide to maybe they now started talking about human tolerance. They had to find a way, because, and you ask yourself, who are the people in FDA approving that? It is on record that one of the top scientists, yes, I think top. He's not an owner. I won't call him an owner, but he was highly affiliated with Monsanto. At a point, he was heading the FDA. And it was at that point, what do you expect? That's a whole lot of approvals, we're giving for genetic modification of foods in the US. As far as the EPA was concerned at that onset, these are pesticides. Now, if you come back here and check the way things, they just copied everything that happened in the US. That's what they replicated here.
One of the things she said on air was that it's not under our office to tell us if it's safe or not initially. That is the
Biosafety Management Agency
that is supposed to tell us that.
That's what I'm saying. You see, why she cannot do that is because there's no way she can approve pesticides for Nigerians to consume.
Pesticide.
Now, what are those things? What do I mean by pesticide? The beans, for instance, they call it cowpea.
Okay.
And when people hear cowpea, they think it's one foreign food that does not concern them. It's beans. So BT cowpea is beans.
Okay.
What is the modification there? That beans is modified to produce its own pesticide.
Okay.
So that the insect
okay.
that they claimed came to wipe off our beans some years back will no longer, so the insect will eat that, will attempt to eat it, and it will die. Because the plant produces its own pesticide. That is one. Then they also now said, because the plant produces its own pesticide, farmers will no longer fumigate, do pesticide, like maybe 8 times the way they used to. They can only do like 2 times using their own pesticide, which contains glyphosate. Now, we now said, okay, it's about reasoning.
Right.
Even God Almighty,
of course,
said, bring forth your strong reasons. Let's reason it out.
Yes.
But these human beings,
they don't want it to reason.
They don't want us to reason it.
Just pour it on you and then.
Yes. You say you have modified this plant to produce its own pesticide. We looked at what happened with the Environmental Protection Agency in the US.
Okay.
That was the same problem they had. Their scientists said, no, this thing that produces its own pesticide is a pesticide. So,
because it's corn that will produce corn.
Yes. So now the problem now is this. If you produce your own pesticide and an insect eats that food and dies, what happens to the human being?
That eats it.
That will eat it. So it's a battle that National Biosafety Management Agency and NAFDAC, they must resolve that battle. Because if because we were waiting for her on air that day to tell us that she is the one approving GMOs to eat.
And she said she wasn't the one. It's
not under her jurisdiction. Do you understand?
Correct.
So what that means is that if NAFDAC, why will NAFDAC approve every other type of food? But this particular one, that is food that everybody is eating. NAFDAC will not approve it.
Doesn't have the jurisdiction to approve it.
May we reason them now? Do you understand? Because those things are like the corn is modified to produce its own insecticide. It's there. So the corn, there's also say is drought resistant. This Stella maize, they gave us that is drought resistant. The US rejected it. That it didn't meet their own standard of drought resistant.
The
US.
From where Musata is
US. Check it out. US. And I feel sorry, because the ordinary Nigerian out there, at the end of the day, will be the victim.
Right.
And you see, the sad thing about these things is that somebody with cancer now, there's no way you can prove that this cancer is as a result of the GMO beans he ate. It doesn't work that way. Do you understand? You see, because there's no direct link. But these things, over time, it's just like poisoning you bit by bit. Somebody is eating poison bit by bit. And the things you eat, for instance, even as your body is producing free radicals, and you don't have the commensurate amount of antioxidants in the body to remove those free radicals, over time, the person will be exposed to what we call oxidative stress.
What does that mean?
Oxidative stress is when there's an imbalance between free radicals in the body and antioxidants in the body. And studies have shown that oxidative stress is the hidden trigger behind over 70 chronic diseases, including cancer. So that's one of the arguments. They tell you, it's not the food this person ate, it's not the GMO this person ate that's giving the person cancer. But what we're saying is this. We may not see the impacts now.
Immediately.
Yes.
It's over time.
Over time. You can see what I read.
Yes.
over time, and that over time is even here with us. Because when we started talking about GMO beans, that was, I think, about 2017, 2015, when we found out that they are already, messing around
10 years ago.
Yes, they're already messing around.
Our beans was already being messed with.
They denied it. Called us, the Institute for Agricultural Research in Zaria. They called us all manner of names.
Conspirators.
They called us all manner of names. What's that thing? Conspiracy theories.
Yes.
And so on and so forth. That nobody is messing with our beans. But during one of the trainings we had, with a group of consultants that was helping us build capacity for export.
Right.
One of them said, you cannot, because I grow beans, you cannot bring your beans into the European Union nations.
Countries.
Yes. Because number one, your beans, high pesticide use. I said, no, I was doing organic. They said, even when you're doing organic, that Nigeria, your country, he said, you guys are already messing around with GMO beans. Meanwhile, our own people, they were denying it. Fast forward to, was it 2021 or 2022? They officially, formally released commercial release of GM beans in Nigeria. So, shouldn't they be paying us after all the abuse they gave to us that we were lying? Do you understand? So, you're messing around with people's food and you think you don't owe us any explanation. Part of what we're doing this campaign, because like one of them said, what happened to you? You went quiet for like some years. We even thought maybe they bought you over and so on and so forth. I said, no. Some of us went back to reason out some things. Some of us went back to study. Because, and I tell you the truth, because anything I believe in, I give it my all. If in the course of studies all these years, and I saw just 1% of anything that showed me that, GMOs, yes, you can manage them. Sincerely speaking, this conversation will be different. I will carry it on my head. Like somebody said, carry something on your head like gala.
Right.
Do you understand? But my brother, we checked. I actually planted, got the seeds, planted. The first one will generate the seed, the beans for you. You replant it, it gives you beautiful leaves. No beans.
Gives you flowers.
Same thing with the maize. So this maize they're releasing now, it's been a long while. Do you understand? So we now said, we can't do this. So when I'm speaking, I'm not saying, this is what I saw or read or they told me. No.
You have evidence.
Now I grow beans. I'm a beans farmer. I grow maize because my patients the kind of treatments we give depends on what you eat. So to avoid all this long story of where did you buy the beans, you're not sure of the source and all that, we started growing. Yourself. Do you understand? We started growing beans, growing maize and other vegetables. If you come to my house, we grow yam in bags. Potato, garlic, ginger in bags. I can't shout. Do you understand? So, and that is what we're encouraging a lot of Nigerians. You see, because
people should grow their food.
At least, because the good thing now is that a lot you can put inside bags. It has nothing to do with whether you have land there or you don't have land there or you don't have, no matter how little. You see, because it's important that as much as it depends on you, make sure that there's something that is alive that is entering your system on a daily basis. So even if you cannot grow rice, you cannot grow beans, you cannot, we think around your house, even if apart from the yam, grow ginger, grow curry leaves, grow scent leaf, grow ugu. Before, when people are sick, like their blood level is low, and you blend ugu and give them, you see them
revive.
Now, if you give somebody ugu juice, it's poison. Because you see, Nigeria we're a very complex system. We have a lot of issues we're dealing with already in our food. Adulteration of our foods, adulteration of water, adulteration of drinks, the way our meat is. Have you been to abattoirs? See the way they kill meat. Somebody carry it on Okada. Somebody will carry it at their back. A whole lot of issues we're dealing with in our food. Contamination. We have not put that in place. Somebody now felt that to add to that trouble is genetic modification. Is it not to wipe off the people that you're working on? That's what we're saying. At least I would have thought that in a normal society, in a normal situation, let's even begin to deal with some of these issues. The way our foods are grown, people are combining no manner of things. You go to markets you're asking them, please now, you have to, before I buy stockfish in the market, I'm checking. Is there sniper? What did you save it with?
Wow.
What did you preserve it with? And so on and so forth. They're using sniper, all manner of chemicals to preserve food. You know, people are importing chicken from everywhere. Who is checking those things?
Nobody.
So I would have thought that these people that want to help us in our food and health sector, at least start by even helping farmers with storage facilities.
Correct.
Oh, you come in, oh, Nigerian government, I want to help you develop your agri sector. You help build infrastructure so that farmers can grow their food and come out and sell their food and have access road to sell their food.
Okay, infrastructure.
Then you now say, okay, the insecurity is making it impossible for Nigerian farmers to go to the farm. You that you are Oyibo with all your technology, you come into the country and say, okay, federal government, can I partner with you so that we can provide enough security to farmers so that if they have to fence their farms and so on and so forth, there are different ways you can provide security to reduce these farmer whatever clashes that they are killing farmers all over the whole place. You didn't think of all that. A lot of farmers need access to funds to do a whole lot of things, buy organic inputs and to produce much more. You're not doing that. You now said that the one that you want to come and help us do is to modify, give us GMO seeds.
To bring your seed.
To bring your seed and impose
collect our own seed. Your seed that can only produce
Thank
once.
God for what President Trump did with USAID and say you should just go and sit down first.
The USAID.
Yes, because this was the same group of people that came some years back. Let's help you with improved ginger. Okay. Improve your ginger so that you can it can do better, add more value to it and all that. That is where we are today. People that collected that improved ginger, they messed up. You don't know what they put inside. Messed up the whole ginger system. A lot of farmers actually lost their lives. You know, we know how to hide information in this country. Lots of ginger farmers actually lost their lives because they had so much debt they couldn't pay back. Some of them are no longer doing ginger. We have become a country who now imports ginger. Meanwhile, our ginger was the best.
It's on record. There are news that at the time in this country, ginger from Nigeria was the best.
That's what I'm telling you. You know, ginger that when you give it to a cancer patient, even cancer will know that something entered your body. Now, all these things they are selling, I tell people, don't touch it too. This one that is as fat as what I don't know. I don't know where they brought it from. I don't know what is inside it. Madam Sabi. Nigeria we're a very complex system. We have a lot of issues we're dealing with already in our food. Adulteration of our foods, adulteration of water, adulteration of drinks. You're messing around with people's food and you think you don't owe us any explanation. If you produce your own pesticide and an insect eats that food and dies, what happens to the human being that will eat it? So it's a battle that National Biosafety Management Agency and NAFDAC, they must resolve that battle. If you check the rate of infertility we have now, even in young girls, it's alarming. This Stella maize, they gave us that is drought resistant. The US rejected it. That it didn't meet their own standard or drought resistant. US.
From where Musata is
US. So if you're using sanitary towels made from genetically modified cotton, you don't know what your body is absorbing. I feel sorry, because the ordinary Nigerian out there, at the end of the day, will be the victim. It is our hope that the president will hear and do the needful. And what is that needful? Use an executive order to put a moratorium on the release of GMOs into Nigeria.
Cotton is another topic. We had cotton in excess in this country, Nigeria. What happened to our cotton?
There's a whole lot of issues around that cotton. And the sad part of this cotton, a whole lot of things we do with cotton. The area I'm interested in, the sanitary pads.
Tell me.
The tampons.
Okay.
And I tell people, if you're going to be using tampons, if you're using sanitary pads, please check where it is from. Because people are not paying attention
to those things.
The BT cotton, if you check the rate of infertility we have now, even in young girls, it's alarming. Which girl does not menstruate? Which girl does not use sanitary towel?
No.
Everybody does. So if you're using sanitary towels made from genetically modified cotton, you don't know what your body is absorbing. So there's a whole lot of conversations we're not ready to have yet. Because just like they think we are not thinking, we are not reasoning. One of the cotton growers came out to say that the fiber of these particular cottons that they gave them is shorter. I'm not a cotton grower.
Okay.
So I really don't know when they say it's shorter or longer or whatever.
Okay.
But I'm now looking at it from the health implication of having to wear tampons, sanitary pads made from GMO cotton. Because the reality is, you know, like you may not eat it, but your skin
can
absorb things. So there are questions that the National Biosafety Management Agency are not ready to answer. They are not ready to answer those questions.
They are not asking those who are bringing all of these things for them.
No, they can't ask them. They can't. Yes, because some of those people are sponsoring a lot of research for them. Before they took some of those things off, you know, there was something, a collation we're doing, where we found out that as at when now, I can't remember the exact, but at least we know that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation,
we're going to come there.
They've spent over $100 million sponsoring different research
in our nation, Nigeria.
Yes,
we're going to come there. That topic is a major part of our conversation this morning. So, with all evidence available to us, GMO and all its related activities in our country, whether by food that we eat or by any other way of taking it, is detrimental to the lives and health of everybody.
It is, except they prove otherwise, which they have not proven.
So, proving otherwise is not even within their reach, because like we just stated, in most of the countries, even from where they are exporting the GMO seeds from, which is America, they are rejecting it.
It's maize they rejected. So if America rejected telomeres, what is it doing in Nigeria? Do you understand?
Yes,
so these things are not even making sense. You know, sometimes it gets overwhelming because you ask yourself, how do these people reason? Do you get? How do they reason? Because you see, I don't know what anybody, I don't like hearsay.
Okay.
That's why I said to you that I personally had to go back at my own cost. For instance, you invited me to this. Did you pay my ticket?
No.
Did you pay my...
Nothing.
Do you understand? You see, because once I believe in something and that this is right and we have checked and proven it, you know, I go out of my way. They have accused us, we are being sponsored, we are being... somebody is sponsoring us.
From what we know and hear, they are the ones that are being sponsored.
They are the ones that are being sponsored. Like they accuse you of what they are doing. You understand?
It's the strategy they use.
Yes, they don't believe that a lot of us are doing what we are doing because not only we love our country, because I'm also a player in the health industry. I know what we see every day. Just like the guy I told you that did a video.
Right.
You know, he took the COVID vaccine and started having a lot of problems. Okay, health
COVID
issues.
Vaccine
yes.
is another major...
Yes, he took the COVID vaccine. In fact, when he completed it, he used to tell us, like that thing they post now, they say, I've completed, they put the COVID...
what do you call it? Like a design and
exactly,
to tell us that they have completed it.
Exactly. So when he started having problems, and we started interacting, because some of them, the first question I asked, did you take the vaccine? He said yes. Now, it's not everybody that took the vaccine that will have problems, because people's biochemistry
are different.
But he was so sure that a lot of the health issues he was having came from that. Eventually, he traveled out to treat, because he had cancer eventually. but he was treated, in quotes, you know. When he slumped, and was revived a little bit, he said, take this message. Tell the people, if you took COVID-19 vaccine, please go check your health. Don't joke with it. He said, put this video out there. I mean, it was a very emotional moment. Do you understand? And it was difficult for me to be asking questions. Because if it was a normal situation, like you and I having conversation, I would ask a lot of questions. I was even too emotional to be asking, because you could see somebody that was about to go, you know. So I told the wife, when you're done, send it to me. And that's what she did. But I told her, we're not going to, because he died. It was as if he was revived just to make this video.
Make that communication.
You understand? He said, one those that took the vaccine, they should take care of their health. So I told the wife, go ahead, do everything, finish. I don't want to talk about video now. So that's why, like, when I just shared a little bit of it, that somebody took this and this is what is going on. And one anonymous fellow is abusing himself and all that. So there's a whole lot of these health issues. I have another one that, you know, also had cancer.
Okay.
She also took the vaccine. They were compelled in their office to do that.
Yes, in most organizations, it was a requirement.
Yes,
if you don't take it, you are fired.
They were compelled in their office, and she took that and had some issues. She felt in her spirit that the way she started feeling after that vaccine, that her health never remained the same. So when I ran into her in the hotel when she came to see me, I didn't recognize her. I walked past. She was the one that called me. Said, Doc, don't you remember me? And I'm like, who are you? She mentioned her name. I said, what happened to you? She said, since that COVID-19, she has never remained the same. And as we were talking, she said, Doc, where's your phone? I said, that's my phone. She said, record what I'm saying. Because she kept coughing, kept coughing. The cough wouldn't even let her talk. I said, what do you want to say? She said, just record, let people know. In fact, she added that if you have cancer, that she is begging you, that chemotherapy is not your first line of treatment, that radiation, don't go there, that if you have not built up your antioxidant level, your immune system, that you should not go near. And she died. These are heartbreaking stories, you know, that when you listen to and somebody wants to tell you anything to the contrary about your health over something they are not sure of, you don't want to, I mean, you get very angry.
Doctor, some persons in some quarters want to understand what is the difference between when we say GMO seed and hybrid.
Okay. You know, we even have the heirloom. Heirloom are seeds gotten from the parent plant that you save, you know, you farm, you collect your seed, save your seed, eat some, replant, save, replant, save. Then you have the hybrid seeds. Hybrid seeds are seeds you get from crossing species from the same family. For instance, I'm a plant scientist. We did a lot of this experiment. Like you look at orange now. You said, this orange is not doing too well, but there's another orange that is doing well. You can grab them. Do you understand? Yes, and get the orange that you want. Sometimes we also do, because why I'm saying that, you know, is because sometimes when people see fruits that do not have seeds, they think it's GMO. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Some of them, they are done is by hybridization. Do you understand? Yes. But I'm someone that, you know, I strongly believe in what the Bible says. Every plant will reproduce after its own kind. So, and without seed, all of us, we came from a seed. So I'm not the kind of person that wants to eat a lot of seedless fruits. I'm more comfortable with the seed, with the seeded ones. So those that are
the natural ones that we grew up with
and have their seed, I'll carry some and replant. That's what I am pushing.
That is the original design by God.
That is the original design by God. And you see, because what I do I didn't just wake up
Okay.
to start doing this.
Okay.
There was a divine instruction to do this. People don't know. They think I just woke up and started carrying this campaign on my head like, no. And those instructions were very clear. So I'm not even compromising. That's why I'm not smiling with anybody. You talk, I'll tell you as it is. The only thing, what I have done is to go back and study. And that's why I said the other day, I want to challenge National Biosafety Management Agency to a debate.
An open debate.
An open debate. Just like we have during, what's it called? Elections. Where the TV stations will organize
an open debate
for the
aspirant.
Let National Biosafety Management Agency and their allies. And they must make sure that Monsanto, the owners of the seeds, that they are there.
They are present.
So that, because you see, this what happens is this.
Okay.
When you talk about GMO seeds in Nigeria, Monsanto and their owners will not respond to you. Guess who comes to?
Who does?
National Biosafety Management Agency.
Who doesn't know
the person that should regulate the seed is the person that comes to defend the owners of the seed. That's a very strange thing. So, hybrid is different.
Okay.
But what they are doing now, and I need to let people know, because GMOs have become so controversial, they are not calling them GMO seeds anymore. They call them hybrid seeds. They use the word improved seeds. And of course, you know, there's also the new GMO.
Okay.
Because while people are still talking about old GMO, they have moved to new GMO.
What's the difference?
Which they said, you know, this one came by gene editing. Because the old GMO, which they had told us, listen very well, there is nothing wrong with it, that is very precise and all that. Now, they have now come with what we call the new GMO, which is done based on gene editing, which they now say is very precise. These people, there's a whole lot of deception going on. There's a whole lot of deception. And our people need to be careful. Our people need to be careful. I'm trusting God that we're going to have another session to sit and let me educate Nigerians on gene editing so that nobody bamboozles you with all this big grammar they are speaking. Because while people are still thinking that they are in GMO, they have moved to another one.
Does Bill Gates' funding of GMO programs in Africa raise concerns about influence or agenda setting?
Why is Bill Gates so interested in Africa? You know, in the US, the man who is in charge, I think the health secretary, Kennedy, is frustrating a lot of things.
JF Kennedy Jr.
Yes, the one that's in charge of health now.
Yes, that's him.
If you're following him, he's frustrating a lot of things.
Very many. For
people like the Gates and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Right.
So, all that guinea pig, the guy is trying to revert so many things, which is very commendable, which is laudable. Now he's leaving America and focusing on Africa.
His market is not selling there.
Market is not selling there, do you understand? Now you're coming into Africa. You heard the one you wanted to do. Was it in Namibia where the president said, no. The contraceptive that will keep people sterile for 8 years. And after that, what happens? There's a whole lot of things coming up that is so scary and worrisome. Especially in the food and health sector. So people need to be careful. Those things about want to finance this, want to finance that, they come with their own price. And people are paying those prices in their health. Go to kidney centers and see what is happening there. People are on queue for transplants, waiting for kidneys, donors. So, you know, we live in a country where we have enough internal problems already. People are being kidnapped, insecurity, killing of farmers, a whole lot of, I don't want to talk about the ones using people for rituals, the organ harvesters. There are so many issues that we are battling with. Then you now want to come and add to it. You know, like the Bible says, while men slept, the enemy came and sowed tares. So you think that people are sleeping, you can just sneak in and sneak certain things into, you know, our food policies and health policies and all that. Then the sad thing is, who are the people designing these policies? A lot of them are being funded from overseas.
So, he who pays the piper dictates the tune. I am told that if you plant GMO seeds, subsequently, for a few years, you are not able to plant natural seeds and they will grow.
No, because you've messed up the soil now.
So not only does the GMO seeds affect the person that eats it, even the soil with which you plant it.
Yes. You need to check where it is coming from, is what will tell you whether it contains genetically modified. Because if it's coming from the US, 80% of the corn in the US is made with GMO.
80%.
Of course, the US, they're not sending anybody now. They're getting a whole lot of support, from the people. That's why regulation is very watery. It's the one sponsoring your lab, in quotes, sponsoring your trips, sponsoring their trainings to different universities in the world. How will you not give them approval? Somebody is trying to mess with our life, because that's what it is. And you guys think it doesn't matter. It matters.
So, do we say, should GMO foods be labeled for consumers to know what they are buying?
That's part of what we're pushing. Labeling is a very major problem. You see, because without labeling, you're indirectly telling people, I am forcing this on you. But they know that when they label it,
nobody will buy it.
Nobody will buy it. You put GMO maize here, put normal maize here. The cow will come and eat the normal maize.
The cow?
And leave the GMO maize for
Doctor,
you.
the cow will come and eat the normal maize?
Cow, yes. Animal will eat normal maize and leave. There are so many of such research. Now, beans, for instance.
Right.
Beans, for instance, we've talked about labeling. They tell you that the seeds are labeled. That is the seed for planting. We are talking about the ones in the market.
Okay.
How do we label those ones? Those are some of the things I said. Like, we have put, it's like you have not finished crawling. You want to start running 100 meters. It doesn't work that way.
It can't work.
There are systems we need to put in place. We are still selling things in open markets. It's not like abroad now, like you travel to the US, you won't see anybody selling anything by the roadside.
Correct.
Everybody is focused in the malls and on the stores and all that, well organized.
Yes.
We haven't gotten to that point yet.
We are not there yet.
So if we are not there yet, leave our food alone. Do you understand? Because you see, there's no way. How is the guy going to label beans? The aboki selling beans in the open, the woman selling akara, the one selling corn. How do you label it? Who is going to enforce that? Labeling is a very major issue, but while that is going on, people should also begin to read the labels they see in all the supermarkets. For instance, some of these cereals that children eat, when you go into those supermarkets, read the body, read the labels. Those ones are labeling. They say made with genetically engineered ingredients. Like there are, this, what's that thing children love a lot? Cocoa Pops. Now, there are different types of it. It's there. Go and look at it. It's not me that said, go into the shops. There are different types. I think the one that comes from Europe does not contain genetically modified ingredients. The one from South Africa contains is written on the body. Because we took time to go and check these things out in the shops. So people need to read. Don't just go and be buying and be putting inside your bag. No. Same thing with cornflakes. You need to check where it is coming from, is what will tell you whether it contains genetically modified. Because if it's coming from the US, 80% of the corn in the US is made with GMO, is GMO now.
80%.
Of course, the US they don't send anybody now. A lot of their foods are genetically modified, but people are still doing non-GMO.
Natural.
Yes, they have it labeled. When you go to the shops, only that they are like organic foods. They are more expensive than the GMOs. So while we're talking about the staple foods that we're still battling on, how are they going to label them? At least you yourself, when you go into the shops, read into the malls, all those big malls, read what you're buying. Made with genetic, it's written on the body. So it's not as if anybody is hiding it, but because they believe you're not reading, That's why those things are still selling in this country. And that's another question.
Okay.
We also need NAFDAC to answer. Because is it that you, NAFDAC, you are not aware that these foods you have approved to come into the country with the label written genetically, so you did not read it. Do you see all the things going on? That you didn't read it, that it's made with GMO ingredients? Because if they're made with GMO ingredients, you push it to National Biosafety Management Agency now, so that we'll know that is this agency, they are the ones responsible. But if those things came through NAFDAC and you pretend you didn't read, then you will have a lot of questions to answer. Then you talk about protection.
Right.
In the GMO kingdom, it is a kingdom, you know. There's
let's say in the GMO agenda,
there's a tendency for GMO farms to contaminate non-GMO farms. Like Germany, for instance. Okay. If your GMO farm contaminates the non-GMO, you pay a lot. So most farmers don't want to touch, because it happens. It will happen.
So that brings me to the next question. I am told that if you plant GMO seeds, subsequently, for a few years, you are not able to plant natural seeds and they will grow.
No, because you've messed up the soil now.
So not only does the seeds, whatever called GMO seeds, affect the person that eats it.
The soil.
Even the soil with which you plant it.
Yes. It affects the soil. You know.
So the human life is damaged.
The environment
is damaged.
Then the economy, because you see, the farmer needs to be buying. You know, right now, as it is now, some farmers are collecting these things because they are still experimenting with themselves, not us. It will get to a point. This will maybe over the years, you have to keep buying the seed. We should not make the produce more expensive. Of course, because they can decide to sell it for any price. When they sell it, you must buy the seed, because if you don't buy the seed, maybe you went and collected from your neighbor. You know this thing we do now in Nigeria. You say, "Abeg, give me small, make I plant." They will come after you. They have sued so many people because those seeds are patented. So we have not started seeing the effect of this. All this talk that, telling people it is needed to feed the world. There was in fact, a document from Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations that said the food being produced globally is enough to feed 40 billion.
And the population is estimated at the moment to be 10 billion.
As at the last time we checked. Are we up to 10 billion now?
The recent research said between 8 to 10.
So, see the gap between 8 to 10 and 40.
That's a times 4.
So, all those lies.
Deception.
They can't fly. Because as a nation, we can feed ourselves. It's just to create the enabling environment so that people can go back to farm.
So that means that the approvals of GMO seeds can be directly tied to external funding. Of course.
It has to be. I mean, they are getting a lot of incentives. They are getting a whole lot of. Support, from the people. That's why regulation is very, very, very watery. Because if the person, that is applying in quotes for the GMO approval, that person is the one supporting you, because in their website, I don't know whether they have removed it or their law, they can receive gifts. It's there in the Biosafety Act. They can receive gifts, So, and of course, these people are very generous with their gifts. So if the person you're supposed to regulate, is the one sponsoring your lab, in quotes, sponsoring this, sponsoring your trips, sponsoring their trainings to different universities in the world, how will you not give them approval?
So could using GMO lead Nigeria into another form of food colonization?
That's exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. And I don't think, but our prayer and hope is that they will not succeed. Because that level of colonization is going to be unprecedented. But you see, one thing we know is this. You know, Nigerians, we pray. Do you understand? Whether...
No, we are very good.
You know, whether they like it or not. And it is our hope that the president will hear and do the needful. And what is that needful? Use an executive order to put a moratorium on the release of GMOs into Nigeria, so that everybody will go back to the drawing table. Okay, what did you people say? Because we need to have that conversation. What exactly is wrong with this? Bring independent scientists to analyze this. Not people from, because a lot of professors have become compromised. When you talk, they attack you from here, attack you from there, attack you from there, attack you from there. You know, it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. Somebody is trying to mess with our life, because that's what it is. And you guys think it doesn't matter. It matters. When you take a trip to the hospitals and see children, you know, because when I see children with cancers and a whole lot of all those health issues, I tell them, how did this child develop this? You check the mother. What is your lifestyle? What are you eating? Do you have enough antioxidants to protect your system? A whole lot of questions. Yes, some will tell you it's genetic, but science studies have shown that it's only 5% of cancers that is genetic. So we need to keep, my hope also, and also prayer, is that more people will start asking questions. Because by the time we have a critical mass of people asking questions, what exactly is going on, it will hopefully get to the ears of Mr. President, so that he will do the needful and call these officials to order.
Many African countries have banned GMO. Should Nigeria follow suit?
Yes. In one word, yes. We don't need GMOs to survive. We don't need GMOs to... They should be in the lab. Because you see, when they say they're doing trials, you think it's inside a test tube. It's not inside a test tube. They're using hectares of land. You understand? Hectares of land. And Nigeria, our soil is one of the best. Now, people want to just mess up everything. And I don't know how people reason. I don't know how they do it. We should ban GMOs. That has been a hashtag. Say no to GMOs, ban GMOs. Because, I mean, why are other countries rejecting it? The same people doing the GMOs, they want to release GMO mosquitoes. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of that one as well.
GMO mosquitoes. How do you control that in the environment?
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today to enlighten us on all of these. If this is your first time on the show, do kindly subscribe so that whenever we bring you such educative material, you can be the first to know about it. Thank you so much, ma, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.